Hello traders, very good afternoon. Today is the 20th of November 2019. The current time is 3:32 p.m. IST and the market just closed and this is episode 38 from the post-market analysis by Trade Education. And before I share today's analysis, just let me walk you or give you a walkthrough of the quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for everyone. Also, whatever information I'm sharing cannot be used for any trade related activity and is for educational purposes only. So with that, let's quickly have a look at how the auction developed today, and let me just quickly share my screen. So what I was observing is so this is the yesterday's bar. So whether we are seeing continuation on the higher side or whether we are seeing balancing. So today what we have seen is we have seen continuation on the higher side, as yesterday was more of a bullish close. So let me just quickly jump to the market profile charts to give you what I was looking at. So some of the reference areas which I had carry forwarded or which I was monitoring were yesterday's high, yesterday's close, yesterday's low, and also the trapped sellers from the yesterday's profile. I would say day before yesterday's profile. About 2,000 trapped sellers, which have been found at this particular level. So what happened is, so this is yesterday's close. This is where the market closed yesterday, and if you see today's open, it opened as it was a bullish open, and then what happened is it tried to build above yesterday's high. So this sort of indicated that high confidence buy. Okay, this is what it shows that currently the confidence is in the court of buyers. So uh, and one of the exit reference area for me was this G2 high, or nothing but 12,070 levels. Okay, so today I had a long trade and then two short trades, out of which one short trade failed miserably, but the second short trade was pretty good. So let me just quickly start with my long trade. So what happened is, as soon as the A period started moving, higher, and it saw a sort of rejection in the B period. So when B period started forming, so actually this was a multi-day high. So 1 day, 2 day, and a 3 day high. So this was the reference which I was monitoring what is happening at this level. So when the B period started forming, so what I was expecting is to is to clear you to have something like an AB poor low, but it did not happen. But what happened is it was trying to touch the high of the 15th of November. So what I did is I entered somewhere long when the A period high was taken out. So I actually sold 12,000 puts, and I also sold 11,900 puts, one lot. That's what I did, and my target was 11,070. So this was the level which I was targeting. So what happened is A, B, C, and D. Once the D period formed, and when the E period formed, there was this poor low, which the D and E period low was weak. So there was a weaker reference which formed. So what I did is I exited my long position. So I booked the profits. I booked these profits in the F period, and I was thinking to go for a short trade. So other thing which I would like to showcase you or share is about the depop. So when the auction was developing, the depop was on the high, so it was above the high of yesterday, indicating a bullish sign. And once I exited my long trade, and I was thinking to have a short trade, keeping my stop loss at the D period high. So the reason for taking the short trade is a sort of excess was formed. So this was the excess which was formed in the D period. Let me zoom in the chart, that way it will be easier for you guys to understand. So the D period high, there were some 300 buyers, or I would say trapped buyers, who were there. So a sort of a finished auction was there. Also there was a sort of access. So if you see the D period, A, B, C, and the D, so the D period, there was a sort of excess which was forming, and then there was this weaker reference which got formed. So it gave me an indication that a lot of inventory is trying to, or momentum players are trying to enter, and what will happen is it will not reach the high, but we will see one-time framing downwards instead of one-time framing on the upside. So what happened is I entered my short trade in the F period, but what happened is then the auction was not reaching at this level, and when the G period formed, the depok from which was around here, which was above the yesterday's high, it shifted at this level. So this gave me an indication that this was a bullish sign. So what I did is I exited my short trade, and I was just waiting patiently to see whether the today's high is getting cleared or not. So what happened is this high got cleared, and I was anticipating it to touch the 12,070 levels. So if you ask me why 12,070 levels, so this level is nothing but one of the highs of the 8th of November. So a lot of emotional selling was seen on the 8th of November. So sellers would be present at this 12,070 levels. So that's why I was anticipating the auction to clear this reference level, and then maybe the sellers would start step in, and then that was the good trade location for or opportunity for trading short. But what happened is it did not reach there. It was just a few ticks away, and then auction slowly it tried to move down, and it was near this weak D and E period low. So F, G, H. So once the H period made a high, H period made the high, and the I period, when it started developing, I again went short somewhere at 12,040 levels. Okay, so that's where again I went short. So 12,040 I sold the Cs, and I also sold the 12,090 Cs. Okay, so one lot and one lot. So this is what that's what I did. And then there was a sort of one more poor or a weaker reference form. So my target was 1220. So let me redraw it again. This was the exit target. So entry was somewhere here and exit was here. It was the 20 points, if you trade in futures. So if you ask me why 2020 at 12020, it's because this was the VWAP level. Okay. So this is how, I actually planned my trade. The first, which I shorted was some 12,100 Cs, 12,100 Cs, and 12,050 Cs. So I had a good long trade. It was successful. Then the second short trade, 12,100 C it did not went well, so I exited. Overall, I was in profit. Then I had one more short trade, and that was also successful. So over and above, two winning trades and one losing trade. So 50-50% is the I would say the trade performance, for today. So that's what happened today. And now some of the reference areas, which I'll be carrying forward tomorrow are the today's high, today's depok, today's close, and today's low. So if you are following my videos, if you're viewing my videos, there is one thing which should grab your eye, and I'll give you 10 seconds, or let me say not 10 seconds is too much, let me give you 5 seconds. So what is the visual reference which you should be clearly visible for you? Okay, 5, 4. Okay, so this is nothing but these two highs. So these are a very weaker reference. Also we have a weaker reference here, there is one half back level, and there are also more weaker references, that is the trapped sellers. So around 2000 plus trapped sellers on the 19th of November, sorry, not 19th, on the 18th of November low. Okay, so there are more weaker reference on the downside. Also, one more thing which you see, today's close is below the depok, indicating a bearish, close. So tomorrow, what I'm anticipating is, it depends on where the open is or how strong the open is for tomorrow's option. Also, tomorrow is an expiry day, so some sort of fireworks we would be seeing. Overall, there are some anomalies, in today's market, and today the auction was more of a news driven event. thanks to Reliance, which was one of the contributor for taking the option in one side, and then sellers started stepping in and then they reversed the option. So multiple anomalies are there. So what I'm expecting is to clear all these anomalies, to clear this weaker references, and then if we see a sort of exhaustion at 12,100 levels, that's where you can you can short and clearing all these weaker references. If not tomorrow, then maybe on Friday we'll be seeing this. One more thing which I'm seeing is if we will be seeing a sort of balance, so we need to see how the auction is behaving at the highs and at the lows. So that is what I'll be taking, and I'll be carrying forward for tomorrow's auction in Nifty. So today I'll just be sharing the Nifty chart. Let me just give you a quick walkthrough. So I didn't look at any other indices today or any other trading instrument apart from Nifty. But in Bank Nifty, what I'm seeing is we had this weak AB high. It got cleared out, and then a sort of exhaustion was seen here, and that's where the sellers started stepping in. But overall, it's the Bank Nifty looks more bullish. And let me just quickly mark the reference areas which I'll be carrying forward to monitor for tomorrow's option development. Today's close and today's low. Okay, so Nifty is in a very tight range. If Nifty is in a very tight range, about 250 points. So 250 points in Nifty, I would say it's a tight range compared to 400 or 500 points move. Actual it is about 500. So as per the average 2 range, as per the ATR indicator, 500 is a very good range. So right now we are half of that range, so indicating something will be changing in the markets tomorrow for the Bank Nifty. Let me just quickly go to the Reliance chart, and one thing which I would like to share is we have this big gap, and tomorrow we need to see whether the gap is getting filled or whether we are seeing continuation on the higher side. So from the market profile chart, what had happened is so this is today's open. It was a gap up opening. So this is the gap. It's a 15, 20 to 15, I would say 25 points gap. And what happened is in the B period, it started seeing some sort of exhaustion, and then one time framing. So the auction slowly tried to go down and it tried to fill the gap. Okay. So tomorrow what I'll be observing is whether this gap is getting filled or not. Once the gap will be getting filled, then buyers will again start stepping in and they will take the auction again higher. So that is what I'm expecting, or I'm anticipating. Now moving on to the crude oil chart. Crude oil is sort of one time framing downwards. So this is the from the last 2 days, and the today is the third day. So it was forming in a channel. Sellers are stepping in at this channel. Also, if you know the balance rules, so currently it is look below the balance, and a sort of continuation is seen in the current auction development process. So crude looks a bit weak compared to Nifty, and it is mainly because of the US and China trade wars. So a lot of new sentiment is there. And if you see tomorrow, sorry, not tomorrow, yesterday, a lot of emotional selling was seen, and there are multiple anomalies. Also, there are a lot of weaker references, which will be getting cleared once the weaker references at the low, or which are there at the bottom. So some of the references, so these are the multiple weaker references which I'm seeing at the lows, and these are the multiple weaker references which I'm seeing at the highs. So overall, if you see, the crude was just trading in a balance. It looked above the balance, it failed, and right now it is trading below this balance. So right now it is trading below the balance, and we need to see whether it is trying to enter the balance or it is getting rejected, and then it will try to clear all this weaker references is what I'm anticipating. Also, we have a prominent point of control around 3750 levels. So it's not far away, 39.80, 82 and 37.50. So let's see, what happens. So currently in the overnight markets, the scenario is more like open equal to high. Okay, and sellers, they are pretty strong. Overall confidence is for the selling side. And from the open, the auction just started moving down, and it did not tag this reference area. But what is happening is it has formed a sort of excess, and buyers have started to step in. So mind you guys, this is nothing but whoever was trying to short, they are now trying to go long. Okay, so overall a pretty weak market, pretty weak hand players are currently playing, because the auction now has shifted confidence from weak or I would say strong selling to strong buying, because the auction is again returned into yesterday's range. So if the auction continues to stay in this range, first target is, just wait for the open equal to high or today's open to get clear. Once this get cleared, then you can keep the first target as the point of control. And there are multiple HVNs which are present. So if we see any continuation on the higher side, then you can keep the target of 4060. Or else what we'll be seeing is we'll be seeing a sort of rejection at the point of control, and sellers would start stepping in, and then they will take out all the weaker references. So that is what I'm anticipating or expecting in the crude oil. Also today is Wednesday, so inventory will be coming out around 9 p.m. IST. So we need to see, so to stay away whenever there is news or there is any inventories or any such things are coming up, because that will easily crush you, because I have learned it a hard way. Earlier what I used to do is I used to trade inventory, and trust me, it's very difficult. It's more like a gambling rather than actually following your technicals, and it's not a trading game. It's like purely gambling. So stay away whenever such inventories or such announcements are going to be present. So with that, I would like to say thank you, and request you to please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you are not my subscriber. And one more thing is, do let me know your thoughts. Since last couple of days, the auctions, I am to be very honest, I'm still learning the market generated information, and I'm achieving success from the last 2 days. So now I need to see whether the success is continuous or not, or whether I'm failing miserably. So with that, I will be ending this session, and let's catch up tomorrow and see how the market develops tomorrow and the auction develops tomorrow. With that, I would like to say again thanks, and let's catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.